Chapter 41. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Leo's eyes were sharp and he showed an angry look. He was on the sidelines and witnessed the whole process of Mebius' defeat with his own eyes. Anger couldn't help but burst out in his heart. At this level, how dare you talk so brazenly about protecting the Earth? Could it be that defending the Earth from invading cosmic beings is nothing more than child's play? Yes, the Earth cannot be lost. Leo, these two young warriors will be left to you. Ace spoke seriously. Leo. No, leave it to me. What about you? Before he could ask any questions, Ace had disappeared from the spot, as if he had never appeared before, leaving Leo with a petrified face. The footsteps are getting closer. Leo quickly regained his scowl, put on his bamboo hat, and lowered his head to mourn for the dead on Kuroshio Island. I feel the breath getting closer, when the lines that are about to be prepared are slowly revealed. In the first battle on Earth. P.S. Please give me some data, readers. It's a new day. Go ahead. Chapter 44. Generous Rewards. Master of Beast Control. Space Fantasy Beast Fist. Auxiliary Ability Enhancement Card. I failed to protect this sunken island. Many people died for this reason. This is a place I will never forget. But gradually, Leo discovered something was wrong. Why doesn't anyone interact with him? Logically speaking, there should be exclamations and surprises. Curiously, Leo turned his head and looked, but I found, the breeze blew by, picking up several yellowing fallen leaves, but when I looked around, it was completely empty, not even a single figure. Where is this, such a, person? Leo was stunned. There was clearly an aura approaching, but why did it disappear? Doesn't that mean that all the lines I prepared just now were in vain? Silently, Leo turned back, suppressing the embarrassment in his heart, and fell into silence. Another corner of Kuroshio Island. Swish, 2 lights and shadows fell to the ground. It was Sarron and Mebius. Hey, brother Sarron, why are we here suddenly? Aren't you going to the source of the call? Mebius couldn't figure it out and asked in confusion. We are obviously halfway there, just a few steps away. Sarron ignored Mebius, and walked towards the highest point of the reef pile, because, that is the most central location of Kuroshio Island, and it is also the check-in location. The check-in location has been reached. Do you want to sign in? Sign in. Sarron whispered in his heart, sign in successfully. Obtain rewards, legendary talent, master of beast control, the strongest boxing technique in the universe, cosmic beast fist, large energy light group *1, auxiliary ability enhancement card *2. Let me go. Is this the conscience of the system? Sarron looked at the reward and was a little dazed. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 sign-in rewards. It is simply unimaginable how the system that has always been so picky about Sosu suddenly became so kind. After selling so many goods, Sarron didn't come back to his senses for a long time. Then click on the talent of the Beast Control Master, Master of Beast Control, legend born with a powerful talent for beast control, and possessing a unique charm that can attract monsters, whether they are irritable, lazy, kind, evil, female or male monsters of various personalities. As long as you are willing to devote your time, if you cultivate your energy, you will definitely achieve extraordinary results. You are the king of beasts. Sarron was silent. Although the Master of Beast Control is a legendary talent, it is the 3rd level talent after the mysterious talent and the multi-level talent, but judging from the introduction, this talent is very different from previous talents. The previous 3 major talents were the extremely evil source, mysterious, the forbidden magic god, multiple, and the human martial saint, multiple. They are constantly enhancing Sarron's own talent potential, and constantly laying a solid foundation, paving the way for a longer and further growth path. It is a gain-type talent that is based on its own conditions and has a strong amplification effect. But the Beast Control Master is different. As long as you have this talent, you can immediately become a Beast Control Novice and turn into a Beast Control Master. Relying on the natural affinity with monsters, even a weakling can control powerful monsters. Of course, this must be based on the character of the monster, but in the end, the improvement effect brought by the Beast Control Master is extremely significant. By controlling monsters, you can immediately change your actual combat power. Feeling very satisfied, Sarron continued to click on the second reward, Cosmic Fantasy Beast Fist, a martial art originating from the legend of the universe. Based on your own understanding of the body, you can outline the corresponding fantasy beast tattoos. You can mobilize the energy of the universe to use the strongest boxing technique in the universe. Cosmic Fantasy Beast Fist. Sarron thought in his mind. He had an impression of this boxing technique, the most powerful method in the universe that can only be learned by the disciples of the Phantom Beast Fist on the D60 planet. There are the Flame Red Dragon Fist, Electric White Tiger Fist, Flying Crane Fist, Phantom Water Snake Fist, High-Speed Freeze Leopard Fist, and the Strong Bull-Breaking Fist. Each person has a different boxing style. Sarron secretly wondered what boxing style he would use. Will he use a single boxing style like the others? Sarron felt that it would not be the case. Because he still remembered that he had a talent. Human martial saint, multiple, you are the darling of thousands of martial arts. From the day you started practicing martial arts, you knew that you would be the leader of martial arts and the real human martial arts saint. All martial arts moves are just tricks in your eyes, and you can master them easily. The eyes moved and fell on the large energy light group. Large energy light group, light energy source, can directly enhance the host strength by one small realm, without side effects and no restrictions. There was no change, and it was exactly the same as the reward for daily sign-in. It was all about enhancing a small realm. Sarron directly chose to use it and mobilized it from the system space. Soon, the strength of a small realm was improved. From the elite high level to the elite peak. If the enhanced sublimation form is activated, it will immediately jump 3 levels. You can reach the high-level legendary realm. What a terrifying thing. Originally, 2 elite warriors were fighting each other and were evenly matched. Suddenly, one of them activated the enhanced sublimation form and his strength leaped to the high-level legendary realm. Then, how to fight this? It is definitely a must-have ability for the old 6. Finally, Sarron set his sights on the Auxiliary Ability Enhancement card. Click on the Introduction, Auxiliary Ability Enhancement card. Use this card to randomly increase the effect of the specified auxiliary ability by 1-3 times, without any negative effects or adverse effects. After seeing it clearly, Sarron sighed that it was indeed the case. Just like the original Light Skill Enhancement card, it can enhance the skill ability effect. After checking the panel, Sarron found that he just had 2 auxiliary abilities. They are 100% energy absorption conversion efficiency and double energy storage, and there happen to be 2 auxiliary ability enhancement cards. There will be no more difficulties that needed to be chosen at the beginning. Sarron immediately chose to strengthen. Ding. 100% energy absorption and conversion efficiency has been strengthened successfully, and the strengthening effect has been doubled, and it has become 200% energy absorption and conversion efficiency. Ding. Double energy storage has been strengthened successfully, and the strengthening effect has been doubled, and it has become quadruple energy storage. Although it only got a guaranteed effect, Sarron is already very satisfied. After all, this time there are so many rewards, which is considered to be a conscientious system. In addition, the 2 auxiliary abilities look simple, but they are actually extremely important. Chapter 42. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It is the basis for the development of all abilities. Even if the effect is doubled, it can bring extremely terrifying effects. After checking it, Sarron clicked on the panel that he hadn't opened for a long time. Compared to the original, it has already happened, earth-shaking changes. P.S. I beg readers to be generous and give me some data. Go, go, go. Chapter 45 Human Body Form. Fonma, Leo transforms into the Gotham Nightmare. Host, Ultraman Sarron. Strength, Normal, Elite Peak, Enhanced Sublimation, Legendary High Level. Note, Elementary, Intermediate, Advanced, Elite, Legend, Diversity, Mystery. Each realm is divided into Low Level, Intermediate, High Level and Peak. Skills, M87 Light, Ultra Guillotine, Strong, 8-point Light Wheel, Complete Healing and Recovery Light. Auxiliary Capabilities, 200% energy absorption and conversion efficiency, 4 times energy storage. Talents, Source of Extreme Evil, Mysterious, Forbidden Dharma God, Multiple, Human Martial Saint, Multiple, Master of Beast Control, Legendary. Sign-in location. None. Seeing this, Sarron was amazed. Since the system started to work, various talent rewards have emerged one after another. Let him, a naturally weak blue Ultraman, be strengthened to this point step by step, although he feels that his own efforts are the most important factor. Brother Sarron, what are you doing? Membius's voice came. Hearing the sound, Sarron stopped thinking about it. The sign-in was completed anyway, so he turned back. It's okay, it's my first time coming to Earth and I want to see the scenery here. Sarron dealt with it casually. Mebius looked around. The dark gravel is arranged in a messy manner, and not a single blade of grass grows. From time to time, waves from the Black Sea tidal waves crash onto the shore, bringing with them countless rubbish and debris. It seems as if it has been severely polluted. Immediately, Mebius was stunned. Landscape? Is this scenery? My brother Sarron, have you gone crazy in the Kingdom of Light? Just as he was about to remind him, he was interrupted by Sarron. Huh? Mebius, is this your human form? It turns out that at this moment, Mebius has turned into a human body, named Hibino Mirai. Oh, yes, brother Sarron, walking on the earth. It's better to look like a human, so as not to cause panic. Mebius reminded me kindly. He feels that he has a responsibility to convey the rules of Earth civilization. Of course, this is not because he is afraid that Salon will suffer. I am afraid that if there is a conflict between the two parties' opinions, there will be another incident of the 8-point light will splitting the mountain. It's scary to think about it. Sarron nodded, suddenly realizing that he still looked like Ultraman. In fact, the appearance of each Ultraman is just an external expression of light. If there is an extreme lack of light energy, it will directly change the original form of the light group. In that case, let's return to human form. Sarron muttered in a voice that no one else could hear, this secret of reincarnation is best kept hidden. The next moment, with a slight movement of thought, Sarron's appearance in his previous life appeared again as a template. With a flash of bright light, a human-looking figure appeared. He has black semi-long broken hair, a face with sharp edges and corners, and a heroic spirit. His black pupils exude an icy aura. He is over 1.9 meters tall, with a tall and powerful figure, well-developed muscles, in line with the golden ratio, and possesses the ultimate violent aesthetics. To use an analogy, it's like Yujiro Fonma when he was young. What does his face look like? Brother Salon. Is it you? Mebius was shocked, his eyes widened in disbelief. After walking around Sarron several times, I could only look up. This tall and mighty figure, with unparalleled tendon meat, exudes a terrifying air conditioning. Thinking about it, Mebius looked at himself a few more times. Usually when I stay with my teammates, I don't have such a strong feeling, but today's comparison, I couldn't help but feel a little regretful. Without comparison, there is no gap. Huh? What? Sarron spoke coldly, as if he was intimidated by strangers. The path you choose must be walked even on your knees. Besides, the bond between Mebius and the Earth was established in the shape of the current human being. If I had to change it, I would really be reluctant to do so. After holding it in for a long time, Mebius was still disappointed and said, "It's okay. Well, let's go and meet that guy for a while." After saying that, Sarron walked forward, showing off his boss attitude. Mebius immediately followed. At the same time, standing in front of the tombstone, Leo kept his kneeling posture for a long time, motionless. He was still waiting for Sarron and Mebius. But time passes by minute by second, a quarter of an hour, 2/4 of an hour, 3/4 of an hour. Every time that passed, Leo couldn't help but clench his fists, getting tighter and tighter, harder and harder. What on earth have these two guys been doing? Leo was furious, and the anger on his face kept getting worse. This kind of anger, this kind of rage, this kind of dissatisfaction, I only had this feeling when I was often trained by Seven on Earth. But today, it's back again. In secret, Ace, who should have left, did not leave. In fact, he was still on Kuroshio Island, and was hiding behind an ancient tree, watching everything. Leo, my good brother. Ace clenched his fists silently, and couldn't help feeling a little moved. Such a good brother, it's simply impossible to find him even with a lantern. Anyway, to be fair, if he had been let down for so long, he would have been furious and gone wherever he had just gone, but Leo endured it. Ace only had tears in his eyes and was moved. At this moment, the real owner finally appeared. Sarron and Mebius walked slowly, without panic, without rush or confusion. Seeing this, Ace's heart sank, and he secretly felt that something was wrong. As expected, Leo, who had been patient for a long time, moved. Sarron. Mebius. You two, finally came. The cold words echoed, like a piercing cold spring gushing out from the underworld. Mebius was startled, paused, and hesitated. How, do you know our names? Sarron narrowed his eyes and looked at the figure in front of him, wearing a hat and a black robe. Hearing the voice, Leo was stunned at first, and then a nameless anger surged in his heart. Good. Good. Mebius. You are really good. It's okay that Sarron doesn't recognize me. You can't recognize your brother Leo at such a close distance. I waited for so long in vain. It turns out that you didn't recognize that it was your brother Leo who called. At this moment, Leo just wants to say. Chapter 43. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. I finally got serious for once, but you made me lose so thoroughly. Fuck. P.S. Please give me some data, gentlemen. Chapter 46. Tyrannosaurus Salon. Lion Leo. You are so awesome, show it. Mebius. Look at the previous battles, what were you doing? Brother Taro handed the earth to you, this is how you treat your promise. This time it was the Revelite Starman, what about next time? Do you have to rely on the humiliation of the enemy to survive every time? Leo's tone was very heavy, and he showed no mercy. He added all the dissatisfaction of the previous aggrieved treatment. Brother Leo. Yes, I'm sorry. After being scolded a few times, Mebius suddenly woke up and recognized that the person in front of him was Leo. He was speechless and completely shrank his head to be scolded. First he was scolded by Sarron, and now he was scolded by Leo. Under the two heavy punches, Mebius was ashamed. On the side, Sarron realized that the person in front of him was actually Leo. Leo, a fire warrior from the planet L-77 in Leo, because his hometown was destroyed, he wandered in the universe and met Seven by chance. A period of protecting the Earth began. Under the strict guidance of Seven, Leo, who was very weak at first, grew up in blood and tears and gradually grew into an ultra-warrior. Later he left the Earth and joined the Space Guard of the Kingdom of Light and became one of the Ultra Brothers. At the same time, he and his younger brother Astra served as the close guard of the King of Ultra. At this time, the guy's team members came and saw the meeting of the three. Hey, that's the future, who are the other two? Ehara Ryu wondered. Tepe Q's rolled his eyes, connected many things, and immediately made a decision. The black-robed man wearing a bamboo hat must be Leo. That when the word Leo came out, several people were shocked. It was obvious that they all grew up listening to Leo's stories. It's Leo. Ultraman Leo. I can't believe it. How could Leo come to Earth? Is it for the future? Anyway, everyone can rest assured. No. Why does the future seem to be scolded and cry? Ehara Ryu, Tepe Q's, Georgia Karuga, and Kiyomiya Maya talked about it and gradually fell into horror. At this time, Marina Kazama, who had been silent, suddenly asked, Hey, look. Is the handsome guy next to him, the new Ultraman who appeared earlier? Instantly, several people's attention was attracted. Sarron, with half-black long hair, crossed his arms and chest, with a proud face and a straight back. Even though he was covered by a tight t-shirt, everyone could feel it. The terrifying power hidden under the strong muscles was like a human-shaped Tyrannosaurus, giving people an extremely strong sense of oppression. There was a moment of silence. Everyone looked at Ehara Ryu with questioning eyes. Hey, why are you looking at me? Ehara Ryu was dissatisfied and yelled, but his heart was secretly chilled. He was roughly sure that the tall man in front of him must be Sarron, because the two gave people the same feeling. Let's go and take a look. Seeing the idle Ultraman appear, Q's Tepe ran forward regardless of his teammates' obstruction. After scolding Mebius, Leo felt much better. He moved his eyes and fell on Sarron, but immediately, Leo frowned, and a fearful light flashed in his eyes. although he claimed to be as strong as a lion, but now, in his heart, he couldn't help but secretly give Sarron the title of Tyrannosaurus, which is stronger than a lion. An indescribable sense of oppression. With this physique, he can beat 100 people at a glance. Not to mention the various people he has seen on Earth, even among the various Ultraman, spacemen, monsters, and other powerful life forms that have transformed into human forms, it is difficult for him to find an individual who can be compared with Sarron. No, not even half of them can be found. In an instant, the two looked at each other and fell into a dead silence. Seeing this, Sarron spoke with a respectful tone, "Instructor Leo, hello, I am Sarron." Leo was stunned when he heard the voice, so polite. But immediately, Ace's words came to his mind. Including, Sarron is good at disguise. Ha! You are Sarron. Leo's face suddenly turned cold, and he decided to take the opportunity to complete the instructions of his brother Ace. Before Sarron spoke, Leo scolded him, "Sarron, do you know how dangerous your behavior just now is? You just escaped from a long journey, and you caused changes in the celestial phenomena when the energy consumption was so huge. Are you really going to die? On Earth, we Ultramen have limited energy storage and the fighting time is only 3 minutes. But you are already in a state of energy deficiency when you arrive. How can you fight against the vicious space monsters?" This time it happened to be the Reverend Star. Next time. Halfway through his words, Sarron suddenly said, "Instructor Leo, it's okay. I have a lot of energy reserves." Said in an understatement. "You have a lot of energy storage?" Leo's face suddenly showed anger. "How about faster? We can't do it on Earth." "It's okay, my energy absorption efficiency has reached 200%. Sarron replied politely. 2 consecutive answers hit hard. The anger on Leo's face became more and more intense. "Okay, okay. Sarron, you are really good at blowing. Saying you are fat really makes me gasp, saying a few words about you really makes me angry. You have a lot of energy, how can you have as much energy as Brother Ace, King Ultra? But on Earth, he can only fight for 3 minutes. Are you efficient at absorbing? Reached 200%. Believe it or not, he is the legendary powerhouse of our Kingdom of Light, the father of Ultra. Even a being at the level of a cosmic overlord dare not say that his energy absorption and conversion effect has reached 100%. Sarron, you, an elite Ultraman, dare to boast that the energy absorption and conversion effect has reached 200%. The more he thought about it, the angrier he became, and Leo's eyes widened like a furious lion. I really think what Sarron said is outrageous. On the side, Membius was frightened when he saw it. He grabbed Sarron and quickly said weakly, "Brother Sarron, please stop talking." "Huh? What I said is the truth, why can't I say it?" Sarron said in surprise, "It's just telling the truth, why can't you say?" After hearing Sarron's words, Leo couldn't hold it in any longer, he said angrily. "Okay. You said you have a lot of energy, and you said your energy absorption and conversion efficiency is fast. Then Sarron, show us. P.S. Here is some data for Chocho. Dear readers, I am really scared of this data. I want to cut it every day. Chapter 47 Darkness Heals Light. Black flames burned Mebius. Sarron remained silent. I began to think about how to show my energy storage and recovery speed, and how can we present it better and make people believe it. As for some people who would say that any tree that is beautiful in the forest will be destroyed by the wind, until your wings are full, you should try to hide your talents as much as possible. This avoids the premature death of talents and premature death. If it were in other worlds, Sarron might agree, but in the world of the Kingdom of Light, especially mentioning this point of view in front of the group of Ultraman from the Kingdom of Light. Chapter 44. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sarron would only scoff, and it still feels unreasonable. This is simply an insult to the Ultra Warriors of the Kingdom of Light. It is a stain on their personality and their efforts to maintain peace in the universe. The dazed moment of Sarron's thinking all fell into Leo's eyes. Huh, Sarron, you kid, you still dare to talk nonsense. Whatever you do must be done step by step. How could anyone start running before they even learn to walk? Mebius also showed worry. secretly sweating in his heart, and was about to say a few words to ease the tense atmosphere. Seen in the distance, the guy's players came running waving their hands. "Hey Future, are you okay? You kid are really worrying. Ha ha ha, just be okay, be okay, be okay." Seeing a familiar teammate appear, Mebius smiled and was about to say hello. Out of the corner of my eye I caught a glimpse, Leo with an angry face. Obviously, he was dissatisfied with his teaching being interrupted for no reason. "Brother Leo. They are the current Earth Defense Force and my partners." Mebius spoke weakly, not daring to speak loudly. Leo waved his hand. "Don't let them come over, they can't get involved in this matter." "Yes." Mebius felt relieved and was about to persuade the guy's members to leave, but Sarron, who had been silent all this time, moved. I saw him with a cold face, stepping firmly on the grass step by step, towards the oncoming guy's team members. When Mebius saw it, he panicked. I thought it was because Sarron was still worried about the previous offense Ehara Ryu had made against him. I immediately wanted to block it, but Leo stopped him with a voice. "Mebius, don't stop him." Leo looked at it coldly, and began to become suspicious in his heart. If Sarron is really indiscriminately cruel and wants to kill people on Earth, then he doesn't mind. Take action yourself. Eliminate the potential harm to the Kingdom of Light in advance. Even if this is likely to be criticized by other Ultra Brothers, but for the Earth, for the country of light, for the universe, he is willing. But the next moment, an astonishing scene appeared, shocking the eyes of Leo and Mebius. "Hey, what do you want to do?" Seeing Sarron approaching calmly, Ehara Ryu panicked, and the fear in his heart increased greatly, but even so, he still stood in front of the other team members. With his arms spread out, he kept pushing and protecting the team members as they retreated. Sarron remained silent, still looking cold and cold. In addition, there are various bonuses on figure, appearance, and momentum, just like this. It gives people an extremely strong sense of oppression, as if the air is about to solidify. Sarron slowly raised his right hand, and dark particles emerged, quickly forming an energy light group and emitting terrifying fluctuations. "Aren't you an ultra warrior from the Kingdom of Light? Why are you doing this? If I offended you before, then please let my teammates go." The closer the distance, the greater the pressure and the stronger the fear in my heart. Ehara Ryu couldn't hold himself any longer, closed his eyes and roared, looking like he was waiting for death. Amaya Mu's beauty, Q's Tepe, Ikaruga George, Kazama Marina. The guy's members felt that the smell of death was extremely strong. I want to ask why I didn't ask for help from Mebius. That's because he saw that he had been stopped by Leo. Even so, Sarron still ignored it. Swish, swish, swish. 0.5 balls of dark energy flew out and hit the 5 guys' members instantly. Ha! Ehara Ryu suddenly fell to the ground, trembling all over and screaming in pain. At this moment, he felt that the real moment of death was so long. Slowly, harsh, teasing laughter came in. "Huh, look at this guy long. Why are you wriggling around on the ground? Are you trying to imitate earthworms? Ha ha, please keep your voice down, I'll take pictures." "Hey!" Ehara Ryu sat up suddenly and touched his whole body. "I'm not dead. Not only are we not dead, but our previous injuries are all healed." Kazama Jinna crossed her arms and stepped forward, looking at Sarron's broad back, her eyes full of little stars. "So handsome, this is a real man." Amago Mizumi nodded heavily and smiled. "What a reliable person." Tepe Q's and George Ikaruga also looked happy. Only Ehara Ryu sat on the ground scratching his head and laughing to hide his embarrassment, thinking of his previous performance. It's just so embarrassing. Other side. Salon, Brother Sarron can actually use dark energy to use healing light. Mebius opened his mouth in shock. Everyone knows that dark energy represents destruction and death, and is extremely destructive. Unless there is the blessing of radiant power, otherwise, under normal battle conditions, the light moves of dark energy will be much stronger. But great power also brings disadvantages, that is, dark energy cannot be used to heal light. I would like to ask, can the healing light that is full of destructive power still be called healing light? As if he didn't find it interesting to be shocked, Mebius looked at Leo. "Brother Leo, have you seen it?" Brother Sarron can use dark energy to heal light. Leo was speechless, even he has never experienced such strange things. However, he cannot panic and must stay calm at the critical moment. Immediately he said calmly, "It's not bad." But what Sarron was trying to say was that he used enough energy. Unfortunately, how much energy does it take to heal the injuries of 5 Earthlings? Unless you want to resurrect 5 Earthlings, Leo put his hands behind his back and gave instructions calmly. Although he is best at fighting skills, that doesn't mean he doesn't know light skills. Once on Earth, he also used the resurrection ray to save people. Membius touched his nose and felt that Leo felt weird, but it seems that there is no problem, at this time. Aha! A ball of dark energy light hundreds of times stronger than before struck, it fell on Membius in an instant, the blazing black flames surged up and immediately enveloped him. P.S. Thank you at 18630. For reminding me. I'm so tired, so exhausted, I'm about to die suddenly. Please give me some data, dear readers. Chapter 48 Healing Light. Isn't it just weapon refining? Ace, is this guy Sarron starting again? TSK. The black fire burned blazingly, filled with endless destructive power. Inside, Membius opened his hands feebly and fell into the sea of fire, his expression looking extremely painful. The guy's members were stunned and did not dare to say a word, because they saw with their own eyes that Sarron summoned this black flame with a wave of his hand. Even Ryoehara, who had always had a bad temper and was easy to get angry with, held back his voice. After all, the scene of the 8-point light while splitting the mountain peak still left him with lingering fear. Secretly, when Ace, who had never left, saw this, his face stiffened and his lips trembled twice. No. Chapter 45. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This kid Sarron, how can he play with the healing light to this extent? As Ultra King, in addition to the forbidden magic of the Kingdom of Light that violently kills monsters, he is also good at this auxiliary type of light. Although it is not commonly used, it still has extraordinary insights. First, he healed 5 Earthlings to verify his accuracy in controlling his own energy, no more, no less, using just the right amount of energy to heal the injury. If too much energy is accidentally output, even the mildest healing light can explode a human on the spot. Not to mention, it is a healing light like Sarron with its own dark and destructive properties. It's twice as difficult to use. Now the healing light is used on Membius. Obviously he wants to prove his own stock. Leo, you must hold still. Don't let this kid Sarron make you feel angry. Ace shouted crazily secretly, punching the trunk of the ancient tree with his fist, feeling gradually uneasy in his heart, because, this weird feeling is all too familiar, just like what happened to me back then. Sarron opened his right hand and moved the energy without moving, forming a black cloth, which was continuously injected into Membius. The black mist rolled and turned into a sea of flames, entangled in it. It is obviously energy full of death and destruction, but it produces strange effects. As the black flame burned, wisps of golden particles escaped from Membius's body, as if it was about to be wiped out. But even though Membius screamed miserably, anyone with a discerning eye could see it. His aura is getting stronger. Everyone was shocked when they saw it, and they couldn't figure out why it was like this. Leo was silent, Ace was dumbfounded, and the guy's members' eyes widened. Only Sarron remained dull. After obtaining the complete list of healing light skills, he carefully compared and contrasted them, whether it's Zophi's Ultra Spray that can only restore ordinary injuries, or the first generation's energy healing that can help people restore energy, or Leo's Resurrection Light that can revive the dead. All light skills are based on gentle light energy. The shape of the energy particles is stable and will not mutate at will. It is very easy to mobilize and can be adjusted and changed according to the user's wishes. As a result, unique light skills can be generated according to the user's energy. But where does Sarron have any righteous light energy? Some people just have a righteous heart. Therefore, he who can only use dark energy must change his thinking. Think about how to use healing light based on the characteristics of dark energy such as irritability, chaos, and instability. After some thinking, Sarron thought of refining weapons. That's right, it's the art of weapon refining. Since being serious doesn't work, let's do the opposite. You want to recover from your injuries, right? Then I will use the most violent dark energy to train you. Forcibly refine all the impurities and meridians in the body. Simply raise your level of life, and then the low-level ailments in the past will become nothing more than pediatrics. As for the light energy body like Mebius, it is even simpler. No need to worry about so much, just refine and purify. Use the violent dark energy to refine your hands, activate the potential in the body, enhance individual physique, and promote recovery from injuries. Of course, this must be based on the multi-level talent forbidden magic god. There is no extremely high understanding of magic and energy, it will only be counterproductive. Again, it's worth noting, the stronger the individual, the more energy it consumes. Wow! Brother Sarron, Brother Leo, look, my injuries are all healed. And I feel like my energy has become purer. Gradually accepting the burning pain of the black flames, Mebius finally noticed his changes. Ace secretly noticed this and sighed silently, feeling that he was getting old. Comparing people to each other makes people angry. Unexpectedly, Sarron has used light to such a superb level, and in terms of healing light, few people would put much effort into studying it. You know, the group of people who are really good at healing light are all in the Silver Crusade led by the Mother of Ultra. Okay, now, with Sarron's special healing light, all the members of the Silver Crusaders can immediately become unemployed. This. Leo's eyes were stunned, and he was incredibly satisfied. Observe Mebius with ultra eyes. Sure enough, the energy emitted by Mebius is much purer than before. Silence, dead stillness, dullness. Leo felt a chill in his heart and thought about what he should say. Is it a boast, or a boast, or a boast? I can't find any fault at all. This hand-healing light represents many things. There is no outstanding light talent, no outstanding energy control ability, no outstanding energy reserve. All are impossible to achieve. At this moment, Leo heard firm words floating in the distance. No, this can only show my energy storage, which is not good. We must also show the energy storage and absorption conversion efficiency together. That I saw Sarron looking around, seemingly looking for someone to show off to. Leo was numb, and he gradually felt something bad in his heart. He couldn't imagine what else the other party wanted to do. However, let him take the initiative to speak softly. That is even more impossible. If this is the case, when the majesty is completely lost, why talk about teaching later? That would be a real joke. Ace, Mebius, and the guy's members were all watching, gradually becoming uneasy. Suddenly, Sarron stopped and sighed. Let me tell you, why does this Kuroshio island give people a weird feeling? It turns out it's too desolate. P.S. Thank you at 12166. For the monthly ticket. Please give me some data. There are so few flowers and comments, so I beg you for your support. Chapter 49. The tree world is coming. Black fog is coming. Guy's headquarters is panicking. Just when everyone was shocked, Sarron moved suddenly, raised his hands high, and his body glowed with black light. At the same time, endless thick black mist roared out and spread hundreds of meters away in an instant. Hoo-ho-ho. A strong wind swept and roared past. The blow made the guy's team members stagger, and they could only stand firm by supporting each other. What does he want to do? Do you want to destroy Kuroshio Island? No. No, this energy is the energy that healed us before. No way, the wind is too strong. Let's hide quickly, otherwise we will be blown away. Get out of the way, the gravel is starting to fly. In the face of natural disasters, human beings appear too fragile. Seeing the howling wind, black fog covering the sky, and rocks falling, I could only run away. Only Leo, Mebius, and Ace, the three of them were still standing at the starting point, with no fear on their faces, only horror. What does this guy want to do? Leo held down his hat and almost had his hat blown off. His face gradually became ugly. He didn't expect that just taking the opportunity to reprimand the other party would lead to so many things. The same goes for Ace in the dark. The feeling of uneasiness is getting stronger and stronger. I feel vaguely. Even Leo, who was famous for his solemn and dignified character, came to teach Sarron. I'm afraid it won't be effective. Mebius was stunned. all he could think about was in front of him, this strange scene. Gradually, a large number of shadows soared into the sky, making him open his mouth in shock. After accumulating enough dark energy, Sarron suddenly clasped his hands together and slammed them towards the ground. Chapter 46. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The fierce palm force penetrated, along with the dense dark energy, boom. As the black fog spread rapidly, the earth shook violently, and the entire Kuroshio island shook, as if an earthquake was about to occur. Countless migratory birds flapped their wings and flew out of the island with chirps. Looking back in horror, I saw that Kuroshio island was shrouded in thick black fog, completely isolated from the outside world. Then a strange scene appeared. Alarm! Alarm! Something happened on Kuroshio island. It was suddenly covered by thick black fog, and the communication signal could not be accessed. Please respond to the headquarters, please respond to the headquarters. As the urgent voice sounded, the red light in the guy's conference room flashed. The few people who stayed at the base were instantly shocked. Use the satellite to check the actual situation immediately. Shingo Sakamizu fixed his eyes and quickly gave an order. The technicians quickly started working, and streamlined information flows kept flashing on the virtual screen. Satellite use rights acquired successfully. Coordinates are being determined. Confirmed successfully, image is being magnified. 10 times. 100 times. No, we can't see the situation on Kuroshio Island at all. The technicians panicked and broke out in cold sweats. Even after fighting monsters for so long, this is a situation they have never encountered before. Keep zooming in, we must see the situation on the island clearly. Mirai, Long, they are all still on Kuroshio Island. Mizaki Yuki said anxiously. Hearing this, Sakamizu Shingo's face suddenly changed. Hasn't the Revelite people been repelled? Why haven't they returned yet? Mizaki Yuki stammered. The last news sent back is, Mirai was mysteriously summoned and stayed on Kuroshio Island. Long and the others are waiting for Mirai. Then there was no information. Nonsense. Sakamizu Shingo had a headache. The earth is now full of endless unknown enemies. He saw with his own eyes that the Mebius transformed by Mirai was beaten and disintegrated so many times. Launch the guy's highest alert order, call all warships and fighters, and go to Kuroshio Island. We must rescue all the elites of our guy's team. Sakamizu Shingo made a prompt decision and responded with the most serious attitude. He even directly used the power of the director, without any fluke. Gig! 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 The order was quickly passed down, and the guy's team immediately started to operate and mobilize the available forces to deal with this unknown war. Then, countless fighters flew out from the guy's base and headed for Kuroshio Island. In the waters near Kuroshio Island, one by one, the warships that could be called slowly sailed away. The Kuroshio Island was shrouded in black fog. Everyone was in shock and stagnation. Their eyes were blank, as if they had seen some extremely strange scenes. I saw the black fog whistling and dispersing, and the dark energy that was obviously full of the breath of death. At this moment, it turned into the source of life. Wherever he passed, tender green wheat sprouts emerged from the withered and dry mud. Puff. 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 More and more, wider and wider, but this is not the end. Under Salon's intentional energy infusion, the tender sprouts that had just grown green leaves were like hormones, began to grow wildly, becoming taller and taller, with lush branches and leaves, trembling green leaves, and abundant fruits. In just a few breaths, all the processes from sprouting to fruiting were completed. Looking at the tall trees, Ehara Ryu couldn't help but pat the branches, and a hard and real touch came. He was numb, his eyes widened, his mouth opened wide, and he looked like he had seen a ghost. This is all real. A cry brought the other guy's members back to their senses from shock. Everyone was dumbfounded, witnessing a miracle beyond common sense with their own eyes. With a wave of his hand, he could make thousands of tree buds grow wildly, forming a dense forest. But this vibrant scene, it was created by the man in front of him who was surrounded by black fog and full of cruelty and destructive aura. In an instant, all Guy's members were confused, feeling that their worldview was gradually collapsing. Maybe black is the color of light. Laymen watch the excitement, while experts see the doorway. The Guy's members only see the appearance, but Leo, Ace, Mebius and others understand how difficult it is to achieve this scene. To complete this scene, Leo is unsure, Ace is unsure, not to mention Mebius. If you insist on completing it, the price is to exhaust your own energy. You must never do it, like Sarron, who is calm and indifferent, because not only does it require terrifying energy storage, but it also requires strong energy absorption and conversion efficiency. And several people know that Sarron's strength is at the elite level. No matter how much you exaggerate the energy storage capacity, the foundation is there, so it must have a very strong energy absorption and conversion efficiency to continuously complete the amazing scene in front of you. At this moment, Sarron suddenly looked up to the sky and let out a long roar. It activated more powerful dark energy than before. The tree world is coming. P.S. Thanks at Dong 128. For the reward. Please give me some data. There are only more than 3,000 flowers, which is terrible. Gentlemen, please support me. Chapter 50 Ironwood Forest on the Sea. Guy's headquarters decision, to attack. Respect like a god. The words fell to the ground. Hoo ho ho. The black mist howls and rolls wildly, as if soaked in ink. Click, click, click. Countless vines broke through the ground, twisted and entangled, scrambling to climb towards the sky, intertwined with each other, twisted and thick, becoming more and more ferocious. The earth cracked inch by inch, and the dead soil collapsed one after another. In the blink of an eye, towering ancient trees made of twisted vines stood tall, towering over the sky, standing motionless on Kuroshio Island. But it hasn't stopped yet. The ferocious and huge tree vines thrust out sharply, like steel spikes, piercing the black mist and swirling into the sky, keep spreading and expanding. It is getting wider and wider, until every inch of Kuroshio Island is covered by its black shadow. Still not enough, rock-hard vine branches overflowed the island and climbed over numerous rocks, finally invade the sea. Outside Kuroshio Island, dozens of elite fighter planes flew across the sky. In the sea area, countless patrol ships came equipped with heavy artillery and lasers. Number 1, this is the headquarters, call number 1. Headquarters, this is number 1, there is nothing strange in the sea to the east. Number 2, this is the headquarters, call number 2. Headquarters, this is number 1, there is nothing strange in the sea to the west. Number 3, this is the headquarters, call number 3. Headquarters, this is number 3, there is nothing in the southern sea, all. Hearing the screams coming from the pager, Shingo Sakamizu was stunned, feeling that something was wrong. I immediately called number 4, but as soon as it was connected, what you hear is, no. What is this? You. After listening to the words, the harsh roar of the falling fighter plane echoed in the conference room. Shingo casually held the pager and stood frozen on the spot. Just wanted to connect to other fighters. I heard screams of terror coming from my ears. It was from Misaki Yuki. They all crashed. What happened? All the fighter planes were shot down. How is it possible? Chapter 47. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shingo Shimizu hurriedly ran to check the returned image. Several fighter planes had inexplicable accidents in a row, which made him panic. Aha. The virtual image appears. What is shown on the screen is the scene before the fighter plane approaches Kuroshio Island. It was still calm and there was nothing unusual at this time, except that Kuroshio Island was covered by black mist. Suddenly, a sudden change occurred. The black mist surged and rolled violently, as thick as ink, giving people an extremely depressing feeling, but that's all. What on earth is? Shingo Sakizu held his chin, his eyes fixed on the image. The next moment, along with the harsh sound of breaking through the air, the scene of the fighter plane falling was reflected in his eyes. But there was no trace of the enemy. No. Change the perspective. Shingo Ojui ordered anxiously. Yes. Screen switching. it was still the same fighter plane, still flying over Kuroshio Island, but in the next moment, a thick and sharp steel thorn suddenly broke through the black fog and instantly penetrated the floor of the fighter plane. This. Before waiting for Shingo Osami, Misaki Yuki and others to say anything more, the horrifying sight immediately silenced them, just because, more and more sharp steel pierced the black mist, spreading out in an irregular manner. In just an instant, Kuroshio Island seemed to have turned into a hedgehog covered with thorns. But those fallen fighter planes suffered unharmed. Scary, what is this? A fighter plane built by concentrating human wisdom cannot even resist it. Damn it, what is this thing, and why did it suddenly appear on Kuroshio Island? This, how does it look like a vine trunk? Look at it. Really, why is this happening? In the conference room, the elite members of the guy's team who gathered together fell into shock and astonishment when they saw this. At this time, Shingo Ashui, who had been silent all this time, spoke up again. Check quickly to see if there are any energy fluctuations of monster life on the island. Yes. One person echoed. Then, the results came out. On Kuroshio Island, there are no fluctuations in monster life. That means that the strange phenomena on Kuroshio Island are not caused by monsters. But no one dared to relax, because the great unknowns that exist on Kuroshio Island are something that human beings currently do not dare to treat casually. Captain, what should I do? Mirai, Ryu, Teppei, Zeppei, Marina, Musi-Mei, are all still on the island. As the acting director, Misaki Yuki looked ugly and asked Shingo Gakumizu, after all, the other party is the real director of Guy's Japan branch. Report to the headquarters. Our Japanese branch is no longer capable of dealing with this kind of crisis. Shingo Gakumizu sighed helplessly, facing the unknown existence. There is only a deep sense of powerlessness. There are still giants of light at the unknown end, protecting the Earth from countless potential invasions from the dark. I hope Supreme Chairman Takanaka and others can come up with a resolution. Misaki Yuki sighed helplessly. Soon, the news spread. Not long after, news came from the headquarters, for bright red characters are displayed on the virtual screen. Concentrate your attack. When this happened, no one on Kuroshio Island knew it. Even if they knew it, they wouldn't care much, just because, now, they were all horrified by the shocking scene in front of them. Kuroshio Island, which used to be deserted and lonely, has completely changed today. Ancient vine trees soaring into the sky are entangled, occupying all the land on Kuroshio Island, and even expanding to the sea. It has become a green forest in the sea. A truly shocking spectacle. Are you kidding me? Is this still the Kuroshio Island from before? Teppei Q's looked shocked. He was familiar with the reality of various ultra warriors after they came to Earth, but after racking my brains, I couldn't find a single example. That's right, there is no record that can compare with the spectacle before you. Ehara Ryo, Kazama Mariina and others also couldn't recover for a long time. For humans, this ability is too far away. How many years of development will it take to achieve this? No one knows, but they are confident that they will succeed in the future. This is the glory of mankind. At this moment anyway, the Guy's members only have one feeling about Sarron, that is, respect like a god. P.S. Dear readers, it will be on the shelves soon. Let me give you some data to give me some confidence. Thank you. Chapter 51 Leo, who am I? Where am I? What am I going to do? Secretly, Ace was completely silent, speechless and unwilling to speak. It's numb anyway. He didn't expect that even if Sarron came to Earth, still so good at pretending. Show your energy storage and absorption conversion efficiency. It was turned into a one-man show. Seeing the changed Kuroshio Island, Ace felt powerless. Looking at Leo with a cold face, he could only pray secretly, Leo, I believe in you, your brother Ace. Remember, you must not fall into Salon's trap. Salon is just good at playing with light, and wants to force you to get angry and compete with him in light. You must remember this. I want your fighting skills. It's fighting skills. Ace roared loudly in his heart, looking forward anxiously. As for why he didn't show up and point it out to Leo directly, that's because Ace has learned his lesson. Disciple, if you get into trouble in the future, just don't tell your master. Instructor Leo, I didn't lie. Sarron said politely. He respected the lonely lion in front of him very much. After all, Leo is definitely the only real man among all Ultraman. As the Prince of L77 Leo Nebula, he witnessed the death of his parents, the destruction of the planet, the disappearance of his younger brother, the death of all his teammates on Earth, the disappearance of his mentor, and other tragic events in the world. Not only did he not fall into any decadent emotions, but he relied on his strong spirit and the quality of never giving up, growing up in blood and tears. Growing up step by step to now. Leo remained calm on the surface, but his heart had already set off waves. This kid, he is very good at playing light skills. Where did Ace say that he only has a few points of light talent? But don't praise him. He still remembers every word of Ace's advice. Yeah. Leo responded lightly, and then he began to think about how to naturally lead the topic to fighting skills. After all, the handover between him and Ace only existed in the mouths of the two of them, and Salon was not aware of it. This raises a question of explanation. At this time, seeing Salon coming over, Mebius smiled and added. Chapter 48. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother Leo, look, Brother Sarron really has extremely strong energy reserves and absorption and conversion efficiency. Brother Sarron is so awesome. Brother Leo, do you think so? Why don't you say anything? What a coincidence. These repeated chirping words completely angered Leo, who was thinking about it. Without saying a word, Leo crossed his hands in front of his chest, and then made a gesture of punching in a karate fight. Leo. Amidst the shouting, the lion's eye gem in his right fist shone brightly, and the transformation was completed immediately. Boom! The earth shook, and in the eyes of everyone, the red light dispersed. Ultraman Leo appears. A red body, a face like an angry lion, and an armband turned into an ultra cloak on his left upper arm. For a moment, everyone was stunned. I don't understand why Leo suddenly revealed his true identity. Leo was very straightforward and said directly, Salon, Mebius, you two listen. I came to Earth just to fight you. So. Mebius, come on. As he said that, Leo's eyes fell on Mebius, decided to attack Mebius, who is weak first, just in time to scare the monkeys to Sarron. What, you want to fight Brother Leo? Mebius was confused. Unexpectedly, a few words he said casually would lead to a fight. Let's have a fight with Brother Leo, the fighting king among the Ultra Brothers. What the hell, how can I beat him? Mebius subconsciously took 2 steps back. He was not stupid, but Leo's angry scolding came immediately. Mebius, is this your courage to protect the Earth? Hurry up and transform. Leo assumed a fighting stance, anger radiating from his body. He clenched his fists tightly, as if he would immediately punch down if he heard another word about not wanting to fight. On the side, Ryuehara, Tepe Q's, and Georgia Karuga couldn't stand it. He patted Mebius on the shoulder and signaled him to go and have a big fight. Go ahead, future, prove yourself. Yes, including our share. You can definitely do it. The persuasive voices of several people immediately gave Mebius courage. He nodded, but didn't speak yet. Then another cold voice was heard. Mebius, you can't even defeat me. How dare you challenge Instructor Leo? That the next moment, a blinding blue light flashed. Boom. Heavy objects fell and the earth shook. In everyone's eyes, the blue light dissipated, revealing Sarron's Ultraman form. The body is mainly blue, with muscle outlines outlined by silver-white lines on the outside. There are strong muscle bulges on the chest, armor and abdomen, showing a strong sense of strength. Come on, Mebius. If you want to fight with Instructor Leo, you must get through me first. Sarron's upward-looking eyes were in the shape of an irregular pentagon and emitted milky white light. They were cold and ruthless. Under the shadow of the giant, the guy's team couldn't help but take a few steps back. The lingering shadow still frightens them. Seeing that it was Sarron, Mebius breathed a sigh of relief. I feel that fighting against Sarron is better than fighting against Leo. After all, the gap between strength and status is not as big as Leo, the thought is certain. He revealed the hidden aura of Mebius on the front of his left wrist, then he turned the crystal circle in the center of his breath with his right hand, and the breath energy release began to glow with golden light. Mobius, at this time, raise your left hand high, and the light energy released by your breath forms the shape of infinity, enveloped in light. Mebius became gigantic and his transformation was completed. Boom! The ground shook violently again. Now, on the small Kuroshio island, 3 Ultraman appeared. Brother Sarron, please don't show mercy. Mebius raised his fists and made a fighting stance. Don't worry. Compared to the nervous Mebius, Sarron seemed much more natural. He neither assumes a fighting stance nor concentrates on fighting, he just stood calmly on the spot with his hands behind his back, but just that, the innate momentum brings a strong sense of oppression. The two are about to start a battle, but Leo on the side was stunned on the spot, looking back and forth at Sarron and Mebius. Who I am? Where am I? What am I going to do? After his soul tortured himself 3 times, Leo couldn't find the answer. I secretly want to explode. What the hell, why are you two fighting? Didn't you agree that you, Uncle Leo, would fight 2 of them? P.S. Please give me flowers, please give me a review, and please give me some data. Gentlemen. Coming soon. Please support me, brother. Thank you. Chapter 52, Mebius, almost, is it almost the same as usual? Activate the Space Beast Fist. Leo wanted to think about it, but no one paid him any attention. Brother Sarron, I'm here. Ha! Mebius roared angrily, clenched his fists tightly, and entered a fighting stance. Sarron didn't say anything, but just stretched out his hand and waved it slightly, indicating that he could attack. This scene immediately fell into the eyes of others. Leo had turned back into a human body, there was an imperceptible twitch on his face. This kid is here again. In the dark, Ace showed dead fish eyes and didn't want to talk. He had long turned a blind eye to the quirks of this favorite disciple. The guy's team members directly discussed loudly. Hey, who do you think will win? Sarron has such a strong aura, he should be stronger. I think so too. No, don't you have any other ideas? It's meaningless to guess one-sidedly. After everyone was silent for a moment, Ahara Ryu said angrily. No, I think Mirai will win. Marina Kazama interrupted mercilessly. I don't think that the Revelite alien was defeated by Salon before. Tamiya Kiyomi pondered for a while and added. Yes, and Salon also healed our injuries and Mirai's injuries. Teppei Q's and Georgia Karuga fell silent. I think what the 2 female players said makes sense, but Ahara Ryu immediately retorted. Look, when he fought with the Revelites in the future, he was already injured. And healing itself is an auxiliary medical function, it can't be considered a combat capability. Marina Kazama immediately rejected it. No. How can you compare like this? Amaya Kiyomi replied, that's right. Then I also said that Salon had just landed on Earth and didn't have enough energy. Instantly, the 2 parties were arguing. Teppei Q's and Georgia Karuga fell silent again. I felt that everyone had a point. At this moment, everyone found that the battle situation immediately became one-sided. Chapter 49. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise, a figure fell heavily to the ground. Mebius, stand up. Damn it. Mebius struggled to get up. He couldn't remember how many times he fell. Every time he was just a little bit away from success. But every time, he failed just a little bit away. As a result, he didn't even touch the opponent's edge. Mebius, if you don't fight seriously, I'm going to take action. That while Sarron was talking, Mebius leaned forward and rushed, and quickly appeared in front of Sarron. Then he exerted force with both arms and locked his waist. It's done. Mebius was overjoyed and wanted to use the hug and throw skill, but something amazing happened. He couldn't move Sarron. How is this possible? Mebius was shocked and used all his strength to hug and throw Sarron, but it was still the same, can't move, just can't move. Salon remained motionless like a towering rock. watching all the performances of Mebius coldly. "Why can't you move it?" Sarron said coldly, looking down at Mebius who was trying his best. "Saw. Brother Salon." Looking up slightly, Mebius saw those cold eyes. For a moment, he felt timid unconsciously in his heart. "Do you feel that you are just a little bit short every time?" Sarron exerted force suddenly, and his energy burst out. He immediately knocked Mebius dozens of meters away, bang 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 bang. He broke dozens of tall ancient trees and stopped his retreating figure. Before Mebius could catch his breath, he found himself covered by a tall and narrow shadow. He was shocked, and as soon as he looked up, a strong wind swept over, bang. He was hit hard in the chest, and the whole person was thrown dozens of meters away again. A long crack was cut on the ground. "I saw your battle video in the Kingdom of Light. To be honest. Very disappointed." Standing in front of Mebius who was struggling on the ground, Salon said word by word. After all, this Mebius is also his first club member. In the future, not to mention being the host of a certain space region, he will also be a marshal or a double-flowered red stick. "I wanted to take the opportunity to come to Earth for a tour, but I didn't expect to expose Mebius's problems." Brother Salon. Mebius became even more ashamed and struggled to get up, but he felt like a heavy stone was pressing on his body. The rest of the people were silent and speechless when they saw this scene. Guys and others had no choice because the main battles were completed by Mebius. In normal times, they couldn't say much, and they only learned that the future was Mebius not long ago. Leo and Ace sighed, for a younger brother of Mebius' age. They had to admit that there was indeed a problem of being too relaxed in their attitude. After all, in normal times, they always think of the brotherhood between the two sides. In addition, Mebius was born with good talents. He was much more outstanding than his peers. Of course, Salon was excluded here, but that was exactly the case. The doting attitude directly led to the problem of not being strict enough in training standards. "Stand up. Let me see you. Are you really practicing the same every time?" "Almost the same." Salon spoke seriously and showed his fighting posture for the first time. As the timing light lit up, a strong dark power descended and enveloped the whole body. The black fog whistled and dispersed, blowing the ancient trees swaying, and the yellow sand filled the sky, as if the end of the world was about to come. "Ha!" Feeling the overwhelming pressure coming down, Mebius took a breath and stood up in one fell swoop. The left hand turned into a fist, the right hand into a palm, and the horse stance was solid. He took a fighting posture again, but before he could do much, he saw the strange phenomenon happening to Salon. "Hey, Brother Salon. How could it be?" In the black fog, Salon's terrifying aura became more and more intense, as if it had condensed into a substance. The visible black ripples stirred up layers of ripples, spreading in circles and spreading to all directions. Then, everyone vaguely felt countless beast calls coming from all around. There were roars of tigers, roars of lions, howls of wolves, and cries of rocks. Countless beasts roared and echoed in the void, faintly like thunder pressing down on the top of the head. Even more, as the beast calls became louder and louder, a large number of strange beast virtual patterns emerged in the air, colorful and extraordinary, as if they came from the ancient void. Teen Guys and others didn't understand what this strange phenomenon was. Ace and Mebius couldn't tell what was happening either. I only felt the energy particles in the air around me becoming more and more violent, and there was a large amount of energy particles coming from the universe. Leo was the only one who understood what this scene was. His face changed rapidly several times before he murmured. "Cosmic Beast Fist. How is it possible? P.S. Thank you at 265737. For the monthly ticket, thank you very much. Please support me, I will give you a song of gratitude." Chapter 53 Night Kick. Yikai. The collision of four giants of light. Shouldn't be. The cosmic beast fist originated from the planet D60 of the Draco constellation and was only passed down to the disciples of Master Arudi. Well. No, it shouldn't be what Salon used. Leo's eyes were sharp, and he observed carefully. He connected the known information and gradually made a judgment, because after truly learning the cosmic beast fist, he would be recognized by the laws of the universe, and thus generate a totem tattoo of the corresponding attribute. Although the momentum emanating from Sarron's body is very similar at present, but the most critical point, the totem tattoo, has not appeared. It is enough to explain the problem. Just when Leo was about to breathe a sigh of relief, the next moment, his eyes suddenly widened, flashing with disbelief. It's actually true. Sarron, who was emitting a terrifying pressure, suddenly became more powerful, the beast roar in the void became louder and louder, and the phantom beast pattern became more realistic, as if it was about to walk out of it. A dazzling black light suddenly burst out from Sarron's body. At this time, a dragon roar roared up and shook the sky. Roar, roar, roar. In the horrified eyes of everyone, the thick black fog seemed to have found its target, suddenly gathered, and poured madly into Sarron. As the black fog wandered, gradually, the totem tattoo became clearer, outlining the outline of the beast. A lifelike black dragon pattern completely appeared. Wrapped around Sarron's body, the dragon head stood up, circling and circling, baring its teeth and claws, just like the black armor dragon king reappeared with full majesty. With a sudden shock, Sarron dispersed the remaining black mist, and his appearance changed dramatically again. In addition to the original normal appearance, a dark dragon pattern with a dragon head standing upright was added. Arms, wrists, thighs, calves, all appeared black dragon-shaped fine lines, and finally the phantom of the dragon head gathered on the chest, like a black dragon overlooking everyone. Slowly exhaling, clenching his fist full of terrifying power, Sarron felt that he had become stronger again. It was not an improvement in realm, but an inexplicable taste. It was as if he was blessed with the talent of a human martial saint, and with the universe fantasy beast fist, he could blow up all opponents in the world. Chapter 50. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With one punch in my hand, I have the world. When the others saw it, they were all stunned, looking at the giant of light in front of them. His aura was originally intimidating, and at first glance he was not someone to be trifled with. Okay, now, a ferocious black dragon pattern was added to the body. The dragon head is majestic, the dragon shadow swirls, and the dragon scales are vaguely visible. The proper pressure of the giant, just standing there, exudes a strong sense of oppression unconsciously. Leo, Ace, Membius, and Guy's members, no one was left in shock. Brother Sarron. Membius was shocked when he saw this, and moved his feet back a few steps unconsciously. His fists were clenched tightly, extremely nervous. He has feelings. If Sarron takes action, he may not even be able to withstand a punch. Membius, watch carefully. If you are not serious, you could die. As soon as the words fell, Sarron disappeared, retreated hundreds of meters away, and slowly assumed a sprinting posture. Instantly, a terrifying aura erupted, and wisps of dark steam overflowed from the whole body. The black dragon tattoo also seemed to come alive. From Sarron's body, he slowly stood up, his fangs opened wide, his eyes glowed, and he showed an astonishing angry look. This. Membius was frightened and worried. The two big words "will die" keep circling in my mind, lingering. Is this Sarron's space fantasy beast fist? Leo murmured, clenching his fists unconsciously. As the prince of planet L77, he should also inherit the royal family's unique cosmic beast fist inheritance. First, learn the boxing techniques of the cosmic beast fist. The next step is to accept the inheritance from the royal family and carve a totem tattoo, but it's a pity that L77 was destroyed too suddenly. As a result, Leo only learned the fist form, but did not get the inheritance tattoo. That is to say, we can only get its shape, but not its spirit. Seeing Membius cowering in fear, Ehara Ryu couldn't bear it. He immediately yelled angrily, "Future! Don't be afraid of that guy. Take my share and show that guy some color. Future! Come on!" Ehara Ryu raised his fists to cheer up, his face full of anger, venting the anger in his heart. Membius heard this, turned his eyes sideways, and nodded heavily, touching the knight's aura worn on his left wrist. He integrated it with his own Membius aura, and golden lines were immediately outlined on his chest. The two released powers merge and enter the brave form. At this time, Sarron moved. As the black mist roared, the black steam condensed into a black dragon head, huge and ferocious, stretching out hundreds of meters in length. It's like the arrival of a black dragon. And Sarron's whole person was enveloped by the black dragon, as if he was integrated into one body. Ho 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 ho. Amidst the roaring roar of the dragon, wherever the dragon body wandered, the earth cracked and exploded, leaving a mess. Halfway through, the dragon's body suddenly paused and jumped into the sky. Immediately, a huge earthquake caused ripples and smoke scattered in all directions. The black dragon stands in the sky, blocking the sky. Then, at the speed of a falling meteor, the ferocious black dragon roared and rushed down crazily, biting and roaring towards Mebius. The stunned Mebius was stunned, terrified in his heart, but his body was unable to move of its own accord, under everyone's horrified gaze. Mebius flying kick. Mebius suddenly took a few steps forward, jumped up, gathered all his strength, assumed a flying kicking posture, and charged towards the black dragon in the sky. When Sarron saw this, he was completely stunned. Damn it, I told you that you might die, why are you so stubborn in kicking me? He immediately released his strength, for fear of kicking Mebius to death, but even so, if there is a strong aftermath that cannot be stopped. Other side, Leo was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that Mebius was so stubborn. Without any hesitation, he waved his fists, shouted Leo, and immediately transformed into red light and appeared. Leo flying kick. At the same time, he quickly used his strongest flying kicking technique to kick towards the two people who were about to meet, wanting to prevent Mebius's imminent sudden death. Ace in the dark can no longer hide. The development of the situation has already exceeded expectations. Immediately he waved his arms, and the ultra ring flashed. Ace. The figure appeared without any hesitation. Ace spin kick. Jump to an altitude of 900 meters, spin your body several times, and use the powerful inertia to launch Ace's spinning flying kick. Launch a flying kick towards the three people who are about to collide in the air. Boom. Da-da-ha. 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 The next moment, in the shocked eyes of everyone, four groups of terrifying forces collided together. Wrong. Perhaps it could be said that three groups of red light and shadow came from bottom to top, attacking the ferocious black dragon swooping down from the sky. Boom, boom. There was a huge roar and explosion in the void, and the dazzling light made it difficult to open your eyes. How, what's going on? One person covered his eyes that were stung by the light and expressed doubt. Turtledove George said in surprise, just now, how did I see four ultra warriors collide? Tepe Q's suddenly realized, hey, yes, in addition to Leo, another ultra warrior has appeared. I don't know how Sarron is doing. Kazama Mariana and Amaya Kazumi looked worried. At this time, an air-piercing explosion sounded. Before everyone could react, boom. 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 I heard four sounds of heavy objects falling to the ground one after another. The ground shook violently and swayed, as if it was about to collapse. Swish away the dust coming from your face. Everyone immediately saw a shocking scene. First, a red and white figure quickly slipped from the sky and fell hard to the ground. The whole person curled up, covering his chest in pain, and stretched out his weak palms. From time to time there is a whining sound caused by severe pain. It's Mebius. Soon, due to the severe injury, Mebius turned into particles of light and dissipated on the spot, turning into a human form. Future. 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 The guy's members made anxious sounds of panic. Although I had expected it, I still couldn't help but run out when I saw this scene. But he hasn't taken 2 steps yet. 2 more red figures were seen crashing to the ground, causing several cracks in the earthquake, and half of the thighs collapsed into it. It's Leo and Ace. Unlike Mebius, the two of them did not fall from the sky and hit the ground in an awkward manner, but it's not easy to say, because in a place where no one could see, the legs of the 2 people stepped into the collapsed ground. I couldn't help but tremble slightly. At last, that figure is falling slowly and steadily. The body is mainly blue, with muscle outlines outlined by silver-white lines on the outside. There are strong muscle bulges on the chest, armor and abdomen, showing a strong sense of strength. Coupled with the black dragon shadow totem tattooed along the body, the black shadow dragon head on the chest is breathtaking. The strong evil spirit emanating from everywhere brings a strong sense of oppression and shock to everyone around. It was the winner of the sparring kick, Sarron. He landed smoothly, without causing any cracks in the ground, and without causing any dust or smoke, compared to others.